love sweet God Manga. Lobsters until I don't you grab it.
Welcome to Lobster Magnet Friends. I'm here with my two burbs who ate the Quaker parrot no fruit, and we are here to talk about One Piece, Chapter 902. And yay, Whole Cake Island is finally goddamn over. I am so happy that we are moving on to a new arc, that we have a definitive end with the Straw Hats getting away. And this has been overdue for a very long time. As you know, we've been bitching. These burbs aren't bitching as much about Whole Cake Island because they're burbs and don't really care. But, you know, me and Goro and Zavi have been bitching that, like, we think this arc has overall been taking way too long to finish. And now it's over. And, you know, it was a pretty good ending. Zavel's not going to be happy about Pudding's redemption. We already talked about it with, like, you know, that she kisses Sanji, but then she leaves how she came in, basically being a person who uses mind rape powers, you know, literally gaslighting people. Even though it's supposed to be this, like, emotional finale where, you know, she, like, you know, really loved Sanji and is ashamed to have let him go and basically gives him the shonen equivalent of sex because, you know, basically getting laid is the equivalent of a consensual kiss in shonen anime and manga. So, you know, Sanji got laid by shonen anime terms, although of course it was like kept off screen. And we also got an interesting little flashback of Kataguri, and like I enjoyed that flashback of him and his like little siblings just wandering around. But the funny thing to me is like is Big Mom like just like the equivalent of like a trailer trash welfare mom? Because, I mean, think about it. Like, you know, she's a Yanko. She, you know, is like, you know, queen, you know, of the universe. But yet her children are still running around like vagrants that are unsupervised and, like, bully kids go and, like, treat them like shit, even though she's a Yanko and super powerful. She just lets her kids, you know, get attacked by other kids and fend for themselves, and then she goes on and reproduces more children while she doesn't bother to take care of the children that she does have. So basically, Big Mom is like a Jerry Springer white trash mom living on welfare, and she just endlessly produces these goddamn kids. You know, again and again and again. And it's freaking ridiculous. Oh, Captain Crunch. Oh, where are you going? Where are you going? You're a good boy. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. I love you. I love you. Oh, you're gonna groom me? You're gonna groom me? Oh, good boy. Okay. Oh, okay, we're doing this. Yes, Captain Crunch loves to groom my nose almost as much as Kataguri loves being a Moichi man. But yeah, it was definitely an interesting way to end the chapter. And I kind of love how Jinbei is the Straw Hat, not Straw Hat, in the sense that, like, we've had two Jinbei joining the crew arcs, essentially. We had, whatchamacallit? We had the, Fisherman Island, where he was officially joined the crew, but didn't. And then we had this arc where he officially joins the crew, but doesn't. And my theory about, like, the non-committal Jinbei, the non-committal Straw Hat, even though, like, he fully had a purpose in the crew, and the fact that he doesn't, like, become permanent, is the fact that Oda likes having the monster trio of Luffy, Sanji, and Zoro. And Jinbei completely wrecks that monster trio in the sense that, like, I think he's, like, stronger than Zoro and Sanji. I mean, he's a good fighter out of water. He's a really great fighter in water. Like, he's single-handedly fighting off a Yanko using the power of his Fisherman karate. So he completely supplants... I mean, they're still very powerful, but, like, it feels like they're nothing compared to what Jinbei is capable of. Because Fisherman karate is, like, really, really deadly if it's used by Jinbei. Jinbei is, like, the best. He's just, like, a complete, capable Shibukai badass. Yeah, isn't that right? Isn't Jinbei a badass? You agree with me? Yeah, he is a badass. Captain Crunch, do you agree that Jinbei's a badass? Do you have an opinion on this thought about Jinbei being a badass? Oh, you want to groom me again. So I'll take that as a yes. Captain Crunch thinks Jinbei is a badass. So, you know, Jinbei is a super cool, mega hyper badass. So because he's so badass, you know, we're probably not going to see him return to the Straw Hat crew until the end, near the end of the series. Like, I think we're going to go through, like, the majority of Wano, Sans Jinbei. And then after Wano's over, Jinbei's just going to, like, show up, just like Captain Crunch showed up right here. And these birds are going to, like, wah, 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 wah. Let's go. Uh-oh. We're having a parrot battle. Yeah, these are my two birds. These are my Straw Hat crew right now. These two birds. Oh, don't fight. Don't fight. Don't get OG. Okay, so, you know, it was a good chapter. I'd give this an 8. I think it was still a good, solid, and because it ended the arc, I'm really happy that the Straw Hats are basically, like, getting out, finally. So we can move on to other things, although I was disappointed that the Sunny didn't get destroyed. I like the idea that you know, Oda would have some balls to kill the Thousand Sunny, and I think the Straw Hats are going to have to get one final new ship, but obviously, you know, that invalidates Frankie's dream by destroying his dream ship. But, you know, the Thousand Sunny lives to, you know, see another day and still be the iconic ship. And, you know, the series keeps on chucking along, and it is one of the greatest, you know, shonen series running. And now we finally, hopefully, get the Reverie arc where, like, some real shit's going to go down with maybe, like, you know, seeing all the various world leaders confront, you know, the 5 Elder Stars and the world government and the Tabuerto about the nature of the Void Century. And we're going to get some real shit lore. So I'm very excited for the next chapter, although I think we're going to be forced on a break. So, oh, right, that's right. Next week is Golden Week, so there's going to be no manga. So there might be manga early, there might not be. So this might be the last time I get to do a review with these burbs, which is disappointing because, you know, I like burbs. I hope you like these burbs. I hope they're not too noisy on these solo reviews. But, you know what? I'm putting it up on my solo channel, so it doesn't matter. But, you know, it was definitely a good, solid chapter. I'm glad to see the arc over. And I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next. So, you know, I think that finishes up my thoughts. Me and the burbs enjoyed this week's One Piece, and we're excited to see the next chapter and see what the future holds for the Straw Hats and you know, where Oda's going to take us next. If we're going straight to Wano, or if we're going to the Reverie arc, because Totland is finally finished. And let's hope that Jinbei can survive the wrath of Big Mom, and he doesn't, you know, get killed by her, given the fact that she's back to full strength again. And I hope we see Big Mom again. She was definitely a really, really fun villain, and I'd love to see Luffy fight her in a, you know, no holds barred. But I think Oda did a good job of building up her hype and living up to that hype, and she's definitely been one of the most interesting villains we've seen in, I'd say, the entire series. Alright, so I think that finishes my thoughts on this week's chapter. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for hanging out with my burbs. And remember, lobsters and tennis, but don't you grab it.